Hello, my name is Mrs. Shellcross and I'm going to go through the zoology elective in year 9 and 10 so that you can get an understanding of what is studied in both of those electives, and you can make an informed decision about whether you'd like to choose those electives. Now, why would you study zoology? There's a number of reasons why students pick zoology as one of their electives in year 9 or in year 10 or both. You don't have to have done it in year 9 to do it in year 10. You can choose to do it just a one-off in either year level, or you can do it in both year levels if you'd like. Some students believe that they want to work with animals when they leave school and want to know more about them. Some students want to go into university and study science stream of biology, and having the zoology background can be a big help. But the main reason students choose this elective is because they just think it will be fun and enjoyable, and they might learn something interesting, and then it will be a fun elective to do. So in year 9 zoology, which is the study of animals, students mainly pick it because they have an interest in studying different animals and how they live. So the first topic that we look at is microscopic animals. We'll study how they grow, what they look like. We will grow different bacteria and fungus from around the school, and those pictures show some agar plates where students have grown some bacteria and fungus from different locations around the school. We'll also study bacteria that grow in the soil and see whether the depths of different soil has any impact on the growth of bacteria. And the interesting experiment we do is to compare different disinfectants and antiseptics and to see if they do what they say they're going to do. Do they clean your toilets? Do they clean the bench tops? Or do they just leave a nice smell? So we'll see whether they actually kill the bacteria that they claim to kill. The next topic we look at in Year 9 zoology is adaptations and imprinting. And one of the fun parts of this topic is that students have the opportunity to have a chicken of their own. Students don't have to have a chicken. That's entirely up to you and your family to decide whether you can accommodate a chicken at home for 2 weeks. Students will gain that chicken from birth. The day that it is born, they will get the chicken and they will imprint on it so that the chicken believes that the student is their parent, and they will learn to come to the student, they will feed them and train them, and so that they believe that the student is their parent. It's a fun activity to learn how imprinting helps animals to survive in the wild. The next topic we'll look at is endangered species. And there's a few pictures there of different kinds of endangered species around the world. And often students do projects on them in primary school or in the younger year levels. But we look at 2 particular Australian endangered species. They are the leadbeater's possum and the orange-bellied parrot that live around the Yarra Valley. And we study those 2 because they are close to home for us. And we study what they need to survive and what's causing their numbers to be so low. And this includes an excursion to Healesville Sanctuary, where we study both of those animals in detail. And then the students need to design some nesting boxes for them, which will help them to survive in the wild as they're losing all of their nesting sites. It's a fun activity to do. So that was Year 9 zoology. Then in Year 10 zoology, it's a completely different topic. Still studying animals, but the 2 don't overlap. There is no information that's covered in one that's repeated in the second, so that you can do both zoology units if you enjoy them. So it goes for 1 semester, and the topics that we study, first of all, are introduced animals into Australia. So there's some pictures there of a whole group of different animals: foxes, cats, rabbits, donkeys, pigs, cane toads, camels, that have all been introduced into Australia, all with devastating impacts on the environment. So we look at why those animals were introduced in the first place, what impact they've had on the environment, and what we can do, if anything, to try and reduce their numbers, or prevent them from spreading. We do a particularly detailed look at the Queensland fruit fly, which is starting to have an impact in the Yarra Valley on the orchards and vegetable and fruit crops within the Yarra Valley. And we look at what impact this fruit fly has on our local area and what's being done to try to curtail its impact. This also involves an excursion to the biodiversity department at Box Hill Institute, where they study the Queensland fruit fly in detail to try and work out how to stop its life cycle, prevent it from breeding, and to prevent the impact that it has on the fruit. Students will also go out into the bush to do transects and quadrants. That involves measuring out areas of the bush and counting the number of plants and animals. It's a way that scientists can count the number of animals and plants that are left within an area, particularly if they are endangered. We'll also look at ecosystems and how they survive, what animals live within ecosystems. And we will also go and look at particularly Australian animals that live in the ecosystem. We will go to Hillsville Sanctuary for the Year 10 zoology class, but this class will look at Australian animals that live in ecosystems and how they are surviving. These include things like the grey brolga, the water rat, frogs and turtles that are living at Hillsville Sanctuary, but also are surviving within ecosystems that are in danger. So they are the two topics of zoology, and hopefully that gives you a summary of what will be studied in both of them. And if you are interested, then you can choose them for your electives. Thank you.